Okay, Power Health Keys to Success number 48. We're going to be talking about how to survive the July 4th weekend, the long July 4th weekend. I'm Dr. Rutherford, chiropractor, certified functional medicine doctor.
Dr. Randall Gates, board certified chiropractic neurologist, also a chiropractor.
Once again, this has been inspired by personal experience before I started to become a functional medicine practitioner, and July 4th weekend can be a big trap. It's a big party, and a lot of people partake. Most of our patients cannot afford to do some of the types of things that are being done out there on July 4th weekend. You go out there, maybe you go to the beach, maybe you're in the sun, maybe all the time, maybe you're overdoing it out in the sun playing volleyball or doing these types of things. One of the things you got to do is maybe be aware of that, be moderate. You need to like watch your metabolic capacity. If you remember all the way back to some of our consultations back then, overdoing it can set you back. Overdoing it can create different kinds of biochemical issues in your system that can set you back. And it's good to try to kind of keep it normal. Try to get your sleep. Try not to stay out in the sun too long, as well as for sunburn, but more so that you're not getting worn out. These things will affect you. I think you've already found that in real life, but more so, we'll talk more about the food and more about maybe some strategies, maybe beforehand and or during, and bringing food or making food or different types of food at the barbecue themselves.
Absolutely.
Because it is a barbecue weekend.
It is, for sure. So your options are eat before you go. It's never a bad idea. We've talked about that in previous. Keys to success, taking your own food is definitely an option that we recommend. And make it fun. I mean, you can take plantain chips with the manchego cheese. For most of you, you can do that. That's a nice little snack if you're looking for something crunchy. And then once you get to the barbecue, fact of the matter is some of us just have to speak up for ourselves. And if they're putting barbecue sauce on the chicken, just say, hey, I have a severe allergy to gluten. Can we just barbecue my chicken by itself? Or can we barbecue my meat by itself? That way your food is more clean, and that you're not having the consequences, so to speak, of eating something where you probably shouldn't have, but then you do, and then you're going to feel bad for the week after, days after, sometimes a month after.
And if you don't feel like taking a bunch of heat for the gluten thing, usually what I say is I'll just say, listen, I apologize. I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt, but I just have a severely limited diet. Would it be okay? Because I've never had anybody never say, oh, what's your diet or anything like that. It's just nice and calm. It's nice and cool. Nobody bothers me. And they say, oh, okay. What would you like me to do? Can I do this? Can I do that? So that's kind of a nice way. I know a lot of people say, I talk about the gluten thing, and then I have to go into a whole debate on gluten, and is it real, is it not, and blah, blah, blah. And so sometimes that'll stop you from kind of holding your ground, because these reactions, remember, what we're trying to do is help you to stay better. And some of you will have a reaction for a couple of days to an exposure. Some of you will have a reaction for weeks. And in rare occasions, you could have a reaction for months, and you're not really putting two and two together. So this is an important weekend. This is a weekend where lots of bad things happen to people. We're not even getting into the alcohol part. We're assuming to some degree that our patients understand that over-imbibing in alcohol for patients who have the types of things that we treat probably isn't a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the food allergy standpoint, most people do not question food allergies. People understand peanut allergies. So you just say, hey, I have food allergies.
That's another way to go.
Yeah, I just can't do it. I just have to cook my meat this way. Like you said, you're always great at prefacing things, approaching it in kind of a non-confrontational manner. And you should be fine if you approach the weekend this way. Whereas if you don't plan, then you're in a situation where you don't feel comfortable. The next thing we hear about is that our patients are eating garlic bread and whatever else at these barbecues.
Yeah. Just be attentive. The three big weekends that kill our patients is July 4th, New Year's, and Christmas. Those are the big ones. And just know that a lot of people get set back on those. You know what to do. You've been listening to us now for 48 times, but this takes a little bit more oomph, because it's like I don't know, it's like a seminal moment in the year. It's like halfway
Yeah,
through,
that's true.
people are taking a big break. Who's out on the river going down, who's going down the river, or who's out in the golf course, who's on the beach, who's here, backyard barbecues. I mean, it's a happening weekend, and this is a weekend that sets a lot of people back. Just understanding that and being attentive will be very helpful to you.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that's it for this week.
Okay.
Send us your comments. We'll talk to you next week. And thanks for watching.